Spirit Talker, spoken wisdom. This message to all my melanated fellow Americans out there. And this is a perspective about Trump. And you know, you gotta, instead of seeing a glass half empty, you gotta see it half full. And what is it in it for us, half full, with Trump being here? It's no different than COVID, and we start appreciating the average worker, the gas station worker, the coffee worker, you know what I'm saying? Well, right now they're going to start appreciating the melanated worker. But not only that, you got to understand the biggest prize of all of it, I have to really admit, is that Trump's best friend, Putin, over in Russia, and the way Trump came into office, the very beginning, and the way Trump literally, he held a Bible. It was so awkward. I mean, it was like, he held a Bible like, I don't know, it was just like, whatever. But the point is, he was real uncomfortable with religion. Or maybe holding that Bible because he knew it was a lie. You know, he kind of dismantled religion and politics, because all other presidents before you see them come out of church on Sunday, Easter Sunday. You see them sitting chilling with the Pope, or making sure it's a meeting and them being seen with the Pope. Even Obama did it. It's just a part of the play. That's what I call it. It's really a play. It's sad though, like I say, religion, laws, the sanctuary of marriage is made in the image of the white T man. Okay? And that's the message that God gave me. I'm just speaking it to you. You got to see it for what it is. And to me, that's the devil in sheep's clothing. Jesus is not going to be happy for them painting him white. You understand that? Whitewashing, you can't, man, if you cannot sit down and break bread with a melanated person, if you haven't sat down and broken bread with a melanated person, eaten with them, know them, foster a relationship with them, and it's not even about them, but it's knowing who you are inside that melanated person. God did not put us on this earth to like one another. He put us on this earth to like ourselves and others. Do you know who you are inside a melanated person on a mental and emotional level? Really connect, not being deceitful. That privilege, if you carry any superior above a person and you don't know that person and you assume you better than that person, that's your privilege. You got to recognize that. I'm telling you right now, Jesus is not going to let that through heaven, and God ain't going to let that be in his heaven. And what happens when you meet Jesus at heaven's gate and he's melanated? And if you don't know who you are within that melanated person, how are you going to let God know, or Jesus know, that you truly believe in him, no matter what color he is? But you got to understand, God is all. God has no physical being. When God came to earth, the Most High, he had to come through a woman's womb. He had to find a womb of a woman to be born on earth. That's why she carried the name Goddess. Goddess. You got to understand that. Jesus does not have a father. His Father is in heaven. He's all our Father. He is the Spirit that goes inside a woman's womb. God only needed her womb to be born his son on earth as Jesus. Us, we have to have a seed of a man, the egg of a woman, bonded with the Holy Spirit of God, the same spirit that Jesus has. Everything has. A tree has. An ant had. God is all. That spirit. But if you don't know what your spirit is beside a melanated person's spirit, why would God ever trust you inside heaven's gates? That's crazy, isn't it? Would you trust somebody inside your home? You got to understand the difference between a house and a home. If you cannot sit down there and be open and honest, and no, the Spirit would never lie. God knows how you truly feel. That privileged look When you walk past her and you act like you scared because they're just standing beside you, you know, that Karen mentality. And if your mother's a Karen, what do you think she raised in God's children, not her children? If your mother's a Karen, what do you think she raised in her children? It's not funny. Even though we try to break away from our parents and some of the beliefs we don't want to carry along, but if you revert back to that, each and every time, hypocrite. You think Jesus is going to let that inside heaven? Would you let that inside your home? Stop acting like a man. Stop acting like a woman. This is what the world is built off. That's why marriage is between a man and a woman. Marriage is between a man and a woman. Nobody will let a man or a woman inside their home when they take the time to think about it. No father will want his daughter to marry a man when he can tell her to marry a gentleman. And if he does, he's a fool. If he does, he is a fool. So if that's how he raised his child, it's disrespectful to the child of God. And your child is the child of God. Before it becomes your child, that child is born to God first. The date of conception is the birth of God's child. That's a celestial child. The human child is born on earth, the date of birth on earth. And that day is only when it turns a man into the father. The true birth of that child was the date of conception. Once God's spirit hits the seed of a man and the egg of a woman bonds it for them 40 weeks, that is God's child. And that's the forever child. That child will never go away. It will live the life of a human being. If God sees it so, Jesus will send it back as a tree, any living thing. That's what I believe inside. I don't know. Even though I have read the whitewashed Bible, and all the black priests out there, I got a lot of friends that are, and they came and looked me in my face and speak to me. Because I have always told them, don't preach a slave religion. And that meant Africa to the European, forcing their religion on us. Their whitewash religion, turning the characters of Africa into characters of European Christianity. There should not be no different religion, Christians, Catholic. It's one God. You don't need to know somebody's religion to know God. If you got true belief, you don't got to believe in your father's seed. Respect it. You don't got to believe in your mother's egg. Respect it. But what bonds it and gives it life, that is the Holy Spirit of God. You can't lie to that. When God knows you believe in his spirit, you don't got to say it. He feels it. You feel it. It's nothing to be said. It's to be awakened to. Deny your father. Understand how he was raised, and it's not his fault. This was his period of time. And the resonating of that comes into that seed of you. Now, you can let that seed dominate you and dominate the egg of a woman, because today's women, or women in society, they follow a man's lead. Man has lied and misled them. Because truthfully, man, woman, and child, earth is destroyed. So man will lead, a woman will follow. That's what we are on earth. That is what our trials and tribulations are. We walk through our trials and tribulations through our man and woman stage. But we mature to the point where we know what's greater than us. It's not the man and the woman in us, but it's the lady and the gentleman. And that's when you make a conscious, a spirit conscious, a mental conscious. The spirit lives in the brain, your mind. Your heart can go dead, but your brain, guess what? You can replace the heart. You can't replace the brain. And once your brain dead, you're dead. That means your spirit has left your body. Your living emotions is your soul. That goes throughout your body. The flesh is the least important part. Least important part. God will never see it. So stop changing and stop trying to make it everything. That's man. Man believes in the flesh, the physical, what he can hold in his hand, what he has control of. That's what man believes in, woman believes in. But a lady and gentleman knows it's something way greater than the physical flesh or anything. It's what you believe within your spirit, your soul, your spirit and soul, the mental and emotional, the me, your me. It's not the P, the physical. Understand the mental, emotional, physical, mind, body, and soul. It's all the same, but you got to understand the wording, the meaning, and how does it relate to you. And if you cannot relate that to you, you are lost. You're lost. I was a man. I've been every type of man. I've been a man since I've been 14 years old. Being a grown-up man, intimidate grown men. I was raised in foster care. Yes, I had 6 foster fathers, 5 foster mothers. And guys, I learned a lot from each one of them. There was some bad too, but I don't harp on the bad. That is part of my trials and tribulation, but I'm still here. So God got his hands on me. God has his hands on me. They got to deal that with God, how they treated God's child. I know what I'm supposed to take away from it. I know different men because of the type of man I was raised by, the different fathers I was raised by, what they, each and every one of them, how they are with what they taught me that they don't even realize. They don't even realize. I know. And I compared it to each and every one of them. And I know the difference with a father raising a mom. Because each one of my mothers, plus my biological mother, I know how they treated me. They did not treat me tough. They treated me gentle. Their voice was gentle. Their whole demeanor, they didn't try to punch in my chest and chastise me. They left that to my father. My biological mother did. My mom, she made me everything. She truly is a lady. I don't want to know the woman in my mother. No man, no male child should know the woman in his mother. That's why a lady makes a better mother. The woman in any mother, whew, she a beast. She a beast. That means she got to hold on to her man because she has no man in her life, and she got to go through that. But when she goes inside her own home, she should be a lady mother, not a woman mother. There's a difference. You got to understand that. And this video's on that just as well. But the biggest thing I got to say with Trump in office, you want me to tell you, you got to see the glass half full. What Trump gave us, since he's so disconnected from religion, he don't want to keep up the charades in religion. So he don't lie. He can't lie. You got to listen to Trump. He cannot lie. He tells you the truth. You're just a fool to think he means something else. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. Trump tells the truth. It's a fucked up truth. And what's really fucked up is y'all believe it. I'm like, I look at Trump, I'm like, you didn't say that. And he did. And then he'll spin off on some shit and he'll tell you it. And then he'll blame them and call them idiots. The fool calling the fool fool. That's some crazy shit. Now I just stand back. I don't judge. I just know, come on, really? This is what man has resorted to? This is what man has resorted to? White society, they love movie stars. Ronald Reagan was a movie star, perfect hair, came in, said what he said, the speech. Didn't know a bit of lit, but he can read a script. Trump can't read a script, and the shit that he speaks, I don't know what people, how they change the words up to make them see whatever. But so if you cannot see your spirit within you, but yet you can see the good within Trump, come on, that's some fucked up shit. Excuse the language, but it is. It is. It's crazy. But again, kudos to Trump, and I thank you, Trump. I like how you disconnected yourself from religion. I don't believe in religion. I believe religion is written by man, and man sometimes was, and God can speak to us in anything. I'm not saying God is not within there. With the paragraph I read, I get what I need from it. The same paragraph you will read, you will get what you need. That is God speaking to you. Your job is to keep it positive. And if you use it as a weapon, that's negative. That's the devil. Don't use it against God's kids. That's you understand that? We're all God's kids. And when you do use it in that way, you're going to have to answer that. Not to me. You're going to have to answer to Jesus. And do you think Jesus knows he has domain over his Father's spirit. He has domain over his Father's spirit. He the one judges. Do you come in heaven or do you stay in hell? And if you're not in heaven, you must be in hell. It's two H's, heaven and hell. It ain't no in between. In between, guess what? You don't want to be in between. That's some fucked up area. Okay? That's a real fucked up area. So, and you guess what? And if you're in hell, God believes in you. God believes that we can make it through hell without sinning in hell to get through heaven. He sent himself down as your brother. And you assume it's his son, but it's him. Jesus is him. Jesus is God, but he didn't want to come as God on earth. Understand the message that God gave me. God did not want to come on earth as our God. He didn't want to even come and say, hey, follow him. He didn't want to be our lead. He wants you to choose him and choose what you truly believe. So he came as our brother. And guess what? He fostered a relationship. He fostered a relationship with a man and called him his father. Have brothers. There was half brothers. I have half brothers and half sister. I love them dearly. That's a whole nother story. But he walked with us to show us that his father would never subject us to something that he did not believe in us to make it back to heaven. It did not matter where you come from and who you are. You can walk with Jesus. Society condemned my mother. I'm a foster child because of what society has called my mother and persecuted my mother without helping my mother. That's why I'm in foster care. That's why I was, not just me, all my brothers and my sister. They got adopted. Not my sister, but guess what? We were in foster care. And that's what society, and then they don't have to answer that. I walked through it. I made it through. I went through my trials. I did what I needed, and I'm awake. I've been awake for a number of years. I got shot twice in the head. Twice in the head. 6 months later, took full custody of my son by the bless of God. He took me out of the streets. I settled down. I did not have to live. I wasn't living for myself anymore. I had something important. I was living for my son that I had to take care of. But again, that's enough about me. The thing that I want you to understand, what Trump has done for us, Trump has disconnected himself from religion so much. And I applaud you for it. I thank you, Trump. I really do. Because I'm tired of being that story being pinned in and fucking with my people's head. It's a lot of us already known that Jesus was melanated. But since Trump has disconnected from that and disrespected on his first term, Putin decides to unlock his safe. And you got to understand, why would some people take artwork dating back way before any Christianity, but show what? Shows. The Pope always ride around with a brown Jesus behind him. See, white tea society don't want to admit to that. If you look back, Pope always had a brown Jesus in front of him. Some of the artwork, they don't want to admit. They tried to put a darker tone somewhere, but not say it. We can't even get a white Santa. Do you understand that? People believe in Santa Claus more than they believe in Jesus. And we cannot even get a white Santa in a major mall. You got to understand, if you cannot bring in the melanated society and become one, why would God let you in heaven? I'm talking to the big media out there. The big media out there. If you cannot blend melanated people into normal society and show us, why do we only got one father that's called Bill Cosby and y'all should try to condemn him there, right? But the white man can become president. Bill Cosby got to go to prison for guess what? The coaching couch. And was that coaching couch really created by black men or the white man? And how long has that coaching couch been around? Epstein? Come on. Y'all got videos and pictures. But again, as I always stated, and I wanted to always talk to Bill Cosby, Tiger Woods, okay? I wanted to talk to them and tell them, because you're a black man with white money. Don't give you the right to act like you're white. You can't do that. Okay? You got to stay in your lane. No white man wants to rub elbows with you. Okay, and when you do, and they feel, you understand, your neighbors got to look across the street and see what you got in your yard. And if you got more than them, they're calling the police on you. They're trying to get you in trouble. They want to help you get more, but they rather you get 10 tickets in a year and have to pay $100 for the tickets instead of having an extra $1,000 to pay for living luxury and living equal to him. Until white tea society break that mentality, Jesus is not going to let them inside heaven. And I ask you, would you allow somebody inside your home if you knew within them, not because it's the seed of your father, not because your mother's age, but it's what bonds it together. And that is the Spirit of God, and God's Spirit will not lie to him. And if you live off that privilege is going to keep you outside of heaven's gate. I don't care if you're a priest. I don't care if you're a mom of 6 or 8 kids. If you're raising that child with that privileged mentality that wants to go out there and get melanated other kids in trouble, scream like, act like a Karen. You understand what Karen raised? Karen raised Karen kids. And you know where her husband is, okay? You got these white tea kids going to schools and shooting up the schools and making every school. You put your gun laws before God's kids. You're going to have to answer for that. You're going to have to answer for that. I'm telling you right now. So until you let go of them sins, that ignorance, that privilege, ignorance, stop walking past people and acting like you're scared or looking at them like this. What if that's Jesus and he stops and he catches you in the moment of doing that? Get rid of it. You know what's hard to break? You know what's hard to break? Old habits. You know that privilege is a bad habit. And I'm telling you people, don't bring your privilege up against my pride. My pride is my spirit. And the more I get connected to my pride and my spirit, that shit is a nuclear reactor. And your privilege don't got shit on that. And you can get your whole damn family and you can go 3 generations deep. I was raised the type of man I was raised to be. Trust me, I'll kick your son's ass. I'll threaten your daddy's ass and have to kick his ass. And I'll still put my hands on your grandpapa. 3 generations deep. I've done that, been there. That's the man in me. And I come to realize, I asked God one day, what's greater than a man, God? Okay, it's when a gentleman can walk amongst men and they wonder what the fuck is about him. Something different about him. And when you learn how to be a gentleman amongst men, but don't get it twisted, there ain't no simp. You can try it if you want. You can try it if you want. Okay, I don't give a fuck if you're a UFC fighter. I don't give a fuck if you're a boxer. If you come at me like the devil, what did God do to the devil? I don't want to hurt none of God's kids. I really don't. But I won't let go of you until God tell me to. God kicked the devil out of heaven. Don't come in my fucking heaven. Real talk. But spirit talker, like I said, back to the subject of what I'm saying. I got carried away in this conversation because I see so much craziness today. But Trump has let religion go. And I mean, there's some crazy times for it. So for me to say this is why I'm doing this whole video, because it's hard for me to say. Because I got to find some good in this. This is scary for how it's going to end and what's going to. Trump is acting like a dictator, my opinion. And some of the shit he's getting away with. I used to tell people, you may vote a law in to try to control us. Even though I know you don't fear backfiring on you, guess how it's going to get you. Is when your daughter bring home a black man and you have a melanated grandson and he looks just like you. But that law that you pass now is about to bite you because you love your grandson so much. You almost love your grandson more than you love your damn daughter. And now guess what? That law that you established is going to bite you. So guess what? You understand what they say? You know, do unto others as you want others to do unto you. Help your neighbor before it gets to your yard. These are the moments. And these are in the Bible. Trust me, the Bible used to be a punishment to me. My foster father, Reverend Nathaniel Garrison, used to stick us in a room and we had punishment last for a week. And I remember sitting down there. And I used to grill crystals with sugar and a thread. Okay? And grill crystal. I can remember how long I was reading that Bible because I could almost see every sugar crystal get on that thread. Okay, I almost see it. So I'm stuck in that Bible. I know the Bible, and some of the stuff they said in that Bible, Master's not Jesus, and Master's not the Most High or God. Master is the YT man that's allowed to whoop me and beat me and own so many different slaves. I'm like, why the hell would they have that in the Bible? But then it got so many different versions, because I looked from the Bible I was reading, was raised off. It was an old Bible. Okay, it was an old Bible. At this time, I was 8, 9 years old and started reading the Bible. And my foster father was Reverend Nathaniel Garrison, Gloria Garrison at North Bloomfield. I'm a city kid raised in the country. So I know the difference between a city kid and a country kid. And that difference, neither one of them know, but I know. And that's another story. I'm just showing you the complexity that I am and how I look at things. But when I read about the Master in the Bible, and my foster father told me the biggest house of sin is a church. Ooh, that is the devil's castle. Do you understand that? And then when y'all know what's going on inside that church, I don't care if the priest sleeping with the wives. I don't know if the priest sleeping with the nuns. Okay, if the priest sleeping with the boys. Society knows. And how dare I say that? Y'all been raised off that whitewashed religion. And you really think you're going to heaven? Boy, y'all better atone for some stuff. Y'all really got to atone for some stuff, because some serious shit going on right now. Wouldn't you say? I do. And if you can't, oh my. Lord have your mercy on you. And if you rely on that, and you ask mercy from a melatonin man, a melanated man, that's some fucked up shit, isn't it? When you want to snarl and roll your nose, like, oh my God, I can't stand them people. All them times you said that. All them times you have said that. Man, what do you think? Guess who heard you? Not your white Jesus. Not your white Jesus. Your melanated Jesus heard that. How do you think he feels about that? How would you feel about that? I'm just saying. So look, invite the melanated people over, have dinner with them, and be real about it, because we can feel that fakeness. Fake, phony, and foolish. Come on. All right? Support our stores. Support our businesses. Okay? Don't get mad at us because we good in what we do and don't want to pay us. That's that privilege and ignorant. That's the devil. You understand that? So if you know of that and you condone that, don't take another man's sin on and make it yours. If you know stuff is going on like that, if you know people ain't out there doing what they should be doing, but yet you ain't saying nothing, that's your sin now. See, the spirit, you suppressing your spirit. And if you see wrong and you don't do right, you suppress that spirit in you. Should you suppress the spirit of God inside you, or should you go do right by it? Say something. See something, say something. Hello? See something, say something. If you know something, release it, because if you keep that ignorance in you, God is not going to let you in heaven. Jesus is not going to let you in heaven. You might as well stay in your hell. And I hope you're living good in hell. Enjoy it for a while it lasts, because the human life is only lasts so long. And when you start getting older and older and come and realize all the things you used to fix then, now, and the things you remember in your past, oh, Lord help you. Lord help you. But again, let's finish it off about Trump. Trump, I love you. Thank you. Thank you for being the true man that you are. The true man that you are. There is another stage of life. It's called a gentleman stage. You don't want to raise God's kids to be evil or anything else. You don't want to hurt God's kids. And we're all God's kids. Just letting you know. But I want to say thank you. I'm not going to get into that long speech, but thank you for allowing and breaking the walls and the ceiling down from playing that whitewash religion. I'm glad you couldn't hold our Bible right. I'm so happy that the rest of society, the world, see that you don't care about religion, because they've been sitting on something for a very long time. Putin could have been let this stuff go, but you know what? America, he didn't want to look, he did not want to rub America during a time when Biden and everybody else and Obama, he didn't want to rub America wrong like that, because at that time, like I said, Obama can only do what y'all allowed him to do. If he would have tried any of this stuff that Trump, man, I'm serious. I was worried about that man, and I'm happy he took and learned, but I was really worried about Obama in office because, man, come on. The way they bling and shine, they are perfect examples of melanated love, respect. They are truly a lady and a gentleman, period. That is what Obama and them are. The way they carry themselves, the way they raise not their children, but God's children. You understand that? You got to put God's children before your children. Raise them in the eyes of God, and you'll raise them right. If you raise them in the eyes of you, there's things you're going to let it go. And guess what? Marriage is not between a man and a woman. Marriage should be between a lady and a gentleman. And because what makes better parents is a lady and a gentleman, not a man or a woman. You got to understand that. Fix your words out there, society. But back to Trump. I am so happy that he truly disrespected the way white society look at religion, that Putin released them pictures from his vault showing that Jesus is melanated and all the other information he released. But I already knew in my heart. My true believers already know. I am happy to see somebody confirm what I've seen and what I already felt. But the society that I put this message out to that don't want to admit to that, come on, y'all got to quit this shit. This is terrible. This is really terrible. All right, stop denying Jesus his respect. He have domain over heaven's gate before you meet him inside as God. And if you cannot respect Jesus, y'all keep on saying that he gave his life. No, y'all took his life. Then y'all rear the trinket around your necks that truly disrespects him. Okay? If some man did your daughter the way they did Jesus, did your son the way they did Jesus, do you want other people to wear that symbolism around their necks? It's disrespect. My opinion. That's all I gotta say. But then again, me as a melanated person, I think I might go buy a cross now to disrespect your God, because it ain't my God. Okay, you know what? I might go buy one of your Bibles and forget burning a flag. I'm gonna burn y'all Bible, okay? Because I know, you know what? It's whitewash. So maybe I add some black ashes to it. Okay, it'll cleanse it. Okay, y'all need to speak the truth and stop living a lie. Stop living a lie. You got to understand, seriously. And I tell my fellow melanated priests out there, stop speaking a white man's word. Stop doing that. Stop teaching the teachings of slave religion. Tell people to speak what they feel inside and be positive about. Find the best vocabulary that you can find to be able to speak your thoughts, because your thoughts are thoughts of God. And when you find a word to be able to translate your thoughts, you speak the living word of God. You understand that? Your thoughts are communication and conversation between you and God. When you learn the wisdom that you just got done having that conversation with God, and you speak that wisdom, you speak the living word of God, not the seed of your father. You know how to speak and sound like your father. That's your seed in you. You know how to sound like your mom. But speak like God. Speak like God. That's it. When Sarah, do you understand that? Speak like God. When Kanye West said we are gods, we are. I am my father just as much. I have a seed. I am my mom, but I'm also God, because I believe I have a God in me. And I'll let him come out me more than I let the seed of my father and my mother say. I did not know my father. He was a track star. I got asthma. Roger Frazier, bad man. I seen pictures of him, black and white pictures, scared me. This one I'm out of foster care. I'm about 18 years old now. My mom taking me around my family's house and introducing me to the Fraziers and Warren and stuff. I'm seeing a lot of people, again, whatever. I became the Superman for my family. Trust me. They call me when they need me to fight for them. But guess what? They can't even say hi to me now. It's crazy shit. The 3 L's. Family, friends, and foes. You got to understand that and the meaning. These are the things that hold you down on today's society. We are all brothers and sisters. We are all family. Don't let your family hold you back from finding out who you are. You understand that? Because we try to emulate and be. Our family will lock you into who they know you to be. And that's not who you are today. The man I was is not the gentleman I am. If you cannot see me for who I am, then you don't deserve to see me. That is a message from who? God. I know what it means to me. If you listen to it, it means a lot to you if you know how to implement it within yourself. But you got to understand, society will distract you from your true trials and tribulations, your path, your purpose. Don't let the distractions of the devil distract you from heaven's gates. It's right in front of you.